What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be covering the Tiger Team Spotlight and how it affects different categories of weapons for the Cold War guns. Obviously, I'm back from vacation now, and I'm ready to fully rededicate to everything TrueGameData. So we should be putting out lots of videos and getting lots of updates for the website out here pretty soon. But first, I wanted to mention that right after this, I'm going to be streaming over on Twitch. Most of you probably know this already, but I do play this game a lot. And I stream at twitch.tv/TrueGameData Live. So if you want to come and hang out right after this video, I'll be live over there. As always, if you guys like the content, consider dropping that sub, like, and comment. It really helps us out, helps with the algorithm. Since I haven't been posting very much, the algorithm kind of hates me right now. So if you want to do that to help out and get me back on track, that would be awesome. But let's jump into it, and we'll talk about the Tiger Team Spotlight. It's going to be a short video. Just want to give you the stats for the Tiger Team and how it affects different guns. So let's jump into it. All right, so let's quickly talk about the Tiger Team Spotlight. If you look at it, it says it helps movement speed, aimed walking movement speed, but it's visible to enemies and it hurts your aiming stability. So we're gonna look at aiming stability first real quick. So the flashlight is on until you ADS. So it's only visible to enemies when you're not ADS'd. Let's look at aiming stability. So this is the ZRG with the Tiger Team on it. So I'm gonna scope into this, put my reticle right in the center, and then let out my breath and see what the aim sway looks like. Kind of getting to like the middle of the orange in the corners. About a 3-second period. So let's look at this without the spotlight. Slightly less magnitude, it looks like, in aim sway. So it does seem to actually hurt your aiming stability a little bit. Pretty minimal amount, I would say. The speed appears to be about the same. Just slightly increases the magnitude of the sway. So that's not a huge con, especially for like SMGs and things where aiming stability is not that important. And as far as actual movement speeds go, so we'll start with assault rifles. For assault rifles, the measured increase in movement speed for the Tiger Team was 2.7%. So that's actually a pretty decent movement speed increase, especially with almost no drawbacks. And it gave a aimed walking movement speed increase of also 2.7%. I'll be putting all this stuff on the website very soon, so you can actually use these in your builds. So that's pretty good. I mean, those are both decent numbers. The aimed walking movement speed at 2.7 is not very big, but movement speed at 2.7 is pretty significant. And if you remember my older videos where I talked about what movement speed actually is, a 2.7% increase in movement speed will also give you 2.7% increase in sprint speed. So it's kind of an across the board, in most cases, increase in movement speed. So it just also does sprint speed, which is really nice. And then for SMGs, so if we go to an SMG real fast, I found that the Tiger Team with an SMG was also 2.7% exactly movement speed increase, but it has a more significant effect on your aimed walking movement speed with SMGs. So it was 8.4% increase in aimed walking movement speed with SMGs, which is, again, pretty significant. So pretty solid attachment, I think, to use. I do think it's very good. I don't think being visible to enemies is that big of a deal because you can just ADS to hide it if you need to. So if you're trying to build a super speedy build, I think Tiger Team is definitely a great choice. Let's go over to LMGs, Cold War LMGs real fast. So the Stoner with the Tiger Team was an increase of 1.7% to movement speed and 2.5% to aim walking movement speed. So not very often are you going to be trying to build a fast LMG, but if you do want to try to make it more like an AR, you could use the Tiger Team. Unfortunately, the effect of the Tiger Team was smaller in my tests for LMGs than it was for ARs or SMGs, but still not bad. I mean, 1.7% is still decent. 2.5% aim walking movement speed is pretty minimal, but still a viable option. And then for tactical rifles, so for the Carve, the DMR, M16, and AUG, and Type 63, I found that the Tiger Team was 3.3% increase in movement speed, so the biggest increase in movement speed of all the different weapon categories, and a 3.7% increase in aimed walking movement speed. For tactical rifles, I'd say aiming stability is a little bit more important. So the con here is a little bit bigger than maybe the LMGs, SMGs, or ARs, just because you need that recentering back to the same exact point. But I think it's still a decent option, and the aiming stability penalties are pretty minimal, as we saw at the start of the video, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. But yeah, that's all I tested it for. I still need to get base stats for all the Cold War snipers. At least I have the Cold War snipers up on the website now in terms of damage and damage range and bullet velocity, because I have the suppressors and the barrels up on the website now. But I don't have base stats, so I couldn't test the difference. So that'll be something I do really soon, but I'm expecting the numbers to be very similar, and I don't think movement speed's something that people really care about too much on sniper rifles, so I don't have a lot of priority on that right now, but we'll get it up there eventually. But I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in the video. It's just a really short, simple video for you guys, just to give you the numbers and the stats. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be pumping videos out, like I said, and also I will be streaming directly after this, like I said earlier, so if you want to jump over and hang out, I'm going to be trying to figure out what I like. I've hardly played in the last month, so I need to get back to it and figure out which guns I really like to use right now. But as always, I hope you guys had a good day today, and I will see you in the next video, which will be coming out tomorrow.